Be-do-do-do. Oh, it says I'm live. Did we figure out the stream? Did Kirk figure out how to use a streaming app on YouTube? I think this actually happened. Oh my god. Let's talk some motherfucking comic books today. Hell yeah, we're gonna talk comic books today. I bet you guys are looking at the screen right now like, oh look, he's looking at his own YouTube page. What a narcissist. How about that? How about that is what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about Batman 21, The Button, Part 1. I said page 1, bitch. Go to page 1. Go to page 1! It's not going to let me go to page 1. Alright, so we're going to have to do it the old school way. Anyways, guys, Kirk FM here. So we're going to do a little new video series, and I'm going to make a bunch of announcements at the end of the video. Just don't worry about that. Right now, let's get down to brass tacks really quickly. So New Comic Book Day is every Wednesday. There's a shit ton of comic books that drop. And I've decided that because there's so many comic books, I'm going to read them all so you don't have to. And I'm going to pick one book and talk about it for a couple of minutes. Let you guys kind of preview the badassness that is this comic book that I am talking about. And then in the comments down below, you can be like, haha, Kirk, you were fucking wrong. You're stupid. Can't wait until you come back next week and get it wrong all over again on a completely different title. Because that's what the comment sections are all about on YouTube. So anyways, guys, this is it. New Comic Book Day for, what is today? April 19th, 2 days after my birthday. I'm old. There was a lot of cool stuff. Jeff Lemire dropped 3 titles, including a graphic novel. So that's 4 altogether for him. There's a shit ton of Image comics. As far as like curse words and sex criminals, and you guys know me, I love my indie comics. But believe it or not, for this first installment of this bad boy, I'm gonna go with DC Comics. I'm gonna go with one of the big two. And the big deal for Batman 21 Part 1 of The Button, is that this is the beginning of the incorporation of the Watchmen, or at least the Watchmen mythos by Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons, into regular DC continuity. I know, that sounds kind of creepy. Let me get you guys back up a little bit. So basically what happened was DC about 5 years ago, 6 years ago at this point, decided to press the big giant reset button on all their bullshit and started the New 52. They started it was weird. It was cool for a couple of months, and then it just kind of fell into a slump. The art was kind of lackluster. It was very dark and mysterious and gritty takes on these superheroes that you've known and loved forever that used to represent hope. Fuck hope. We're the New 52. And it was kind of cool. Whatever. Not really. I kind of fell off on it, as did a lot of readers. And so a few months ago, basically Jeff Johns was put back into the driver's seat of DC Comics, which is fucking badass. And they decided to reboot their entire universe again with Rebirth. And in all honesty, I can be as snarky as I want about it, but Rebirth has been fucking amazing ever since they decided to press the big red button and start all over again with the DC universe. The comics have just been more vibrant. The creative teams have been amazing. Some of the things that have really shown through the Rebirth reset is the colors and art that they have chosen. A lot of these creative teams have been really fucking great. There are comics out there that couldn't quite find their voice, that through Rebirth have really kind of narrowed down and like really figured out the direction and what kind of comic book they want to be. Green Arrow has been one of the best titles I've read. Superman is amazingly interesting to read again. Batman, they kind of kept Batman and the creative team for a really long time. Don't worry about that. Batman's still always been great. But like Aquaman was really good. And Teen Titans was really good. And dear God, Red Hood and the Outlaws finally had purpose. And, there's been, there's a Deathstroke title out. You shouldn't think that Deathstroke should get his own title. But it's been a fascinating read. It's been kind of interesting. It's just, we all kind of keep, oh God, don't this fuck up. And, it's so interesting that because of things been going so good, that with this new storyline that they're doing, which, by the way, it's 2 issues of Batman, 2 issues of The Flash alternating. It is a storyline, but it is not like an event comic. It is just a crossover story that they're doing with Batman and The Flash, which, one, I really appreciated. I'm glad that they didn't make a big event out of it in a way to introduce this story. So getting you guys caught up. Tangents. Basically, when the New 52 started, They did a one-shot with Jeff Johns, and it was a great read. I highly suggest it. No, it's hard to go find hard copy, but get it, download, whatever. Beg, borrow, steal, punch your sister. I don't care. Do it. Don't punch your sister, unless she's a baby, in which case it's hilarious. And at the end of the issue, Batman's walking through his cave, and all seems right, and Wally West has appeared again, and now the heroes remember like who they truly are. And he reaches over, and sure enough, it's the comedian's button with a little bit of blood on it from Watchmen. And it was the first kind of, oh my god, the Watchmen are now a part of the DC universe. That's sacrilege for a lot of people. Watchmen is considered the end-all, be-all, Bible, tome, don't you dare fuck with it type of story by Alan Moore. And I personally am one of them. I think it's the period to the end-all, be-all commentary on superheroes. I'm glad they never did a sequel to it, and I also really, really appreciate the fact that no one gave me a hard time when I decided not to read any of the B4 Watchmen prequels, even though those creative teams looked amazing. That's enough ranting a little bit of history of the DC universe. So Batman 21 basically takes off. I need to get some digital awesomeness here, a little Tim Sale action. First page, one of my friends noticed really quickly that DC editorial needs to get off their asses a little bit. We find out that Batman is a hockey fan, and I think that's badass. He's watching the Western Conference Finals. This is hilarious because the two teams in it are Gotham and Metropolis, which I'm pretty sure are East Coast teams. And it's for the Western Conference. Sorry, editorial. Get on it. This art's been really great so far. I just like the fact that they have been very brave, and there's a couple of different storytelling elements from different storylines that they include in this right out of the gate. And they're not going to mince it. There's a mystery, but they're definitely being very upfront with the kind of mystery that they're going to tell. And one of the things that I really did genuinely notice and love, besides this page that's loading forever, don't do this while I'm live streaming. How dare you? This is not what we wanted to do. Anyways, you're going to see the format that they decided to lay out this comic in, which I really appreciated. If you ever check out Watchmen, there's a very conscientious, very concise way that they told the story. And this sucks because we do these videos live. I need that page. You want to give me that page? We're just going to reload Comixology while I keep talking. And basically, there was a lot of 3x3 storytelling. Basically, 3 panels down, 3 panels over, 9 panel sections. Thank God! And that is, it's really interesting that they actually stick with that. That Tom King, I should have mentioned Tom King writes this, decides to stick with that script, that version, that script format. And so it really, a lot of this is very reminiscent of Watchmen. Basically, the reason I picked this is that it is probably one of the most creative ways of telling a comic book beatdowns fight scene that I've read in a very, very long time. I was thoroughly impressed with it. Again, you've got the 3x3 panels, which I think is very interesting. Again, things that I'm talking about right now. There's Thomas Wayne from Flashpoint. They are not hiding or scurrying away from the fact that they're bringing elements of Flashpoint. They're going to talk about Flashpoint in this. And I think that's such a strange decision. Again, you look forward. Holy shit, Eobard Thrawn. That's the Reverse Flash. No! That's beautiful art. Yes! Again, there's a lot of New 52 and Flashpoint in this, which I'm so interested in why they decided to do that. Let me show you what you're looking at here. This is very fucking cool. Basically, Bruce calls the Flash and says, "I need you here." And the Flash is in the middle of a fight, and he goes, "Dude, it's gonna be a minute before I can be there." And he really means it. It's gonna be there in 1 minute. So the countdown begins, and you can look at these corners here. Tom King has decided to start counting down the scene in seconds in this 1 minute. And this is pretty much the closest thing I've ever seen to bullet time from The Matrix in a comic book. I thought this was such an awesome storytelling mechanic, especially in the case of how Batman interprets time and how the Flash perceives time. I was fucking floored on this. Now, another thing I want you guys to check out, and the reason why I think this is so interesting, again, the 3x3 panels, is that the art is very gritty and very reminiscent of Dave Gibbons in the way that it shows the brutality like he did in Watchmen, but definitely stays and steers clear of the New 52 stuff that they were doing. And it really does have its own voice. Again, it's brutal. It is really great and cool and creative how Bruce gets his way out of this fight. Something that Tom King has been setting up in his Batman run is that Batman will take enough punishment as much as he can or as he needs to in order to get to the only solution that's left when he's in a fight in order to survive. So that's been a reoccurring theme in a lot of the Tom King Batman stories. You definitely see it again here. Again, the 3x3 all the way through on this until we start getting to the end of the fight. I really was fucking into it. Hopefully you guys, I'm just not like helping you pirate a comic book, but it is a fantastic issue. Again, I'm really excited that they did not make an event out of this. I'm also very excited that, excuse me, almost burped. I can burp live. That we're not just dealing with a bunch of tie-ins yet. I like that this is an in-story continuity, which is one of the reasons why I want to talk about continuity really quickly. As I'm getting older, I think I'm starting to realize that continuity doesn't mean so much for me. That's a good page. We'll leave it on that. That's fucking brutal. You know, in that we had the original universe, and then we had, you know, Infinite Crisis on Infinite Earths, and we have New 52, and then we had Flashpoint. And, you know, so many times the DC universe has reset itself through different periods, and they always kind of try to make different alternate realities come together. And I'm starting to realize that I don't care about continuity as much as I care about just a really good story that comes from a really good place that the creative team wants to tell. And I find it so interesting that Rebirth, from the get-go, has been amazing, and there's been all this awesome groundwork laid in this new universe that they're telling. And I'm almost a little bit floored that they're going to kind of press the brakes a little bit and really kind of bring back New 52, which was really considered a failure, and Flashpoint, which is kind of considered just its own self-contained fun story if you want to look at it from a certain point of view, and bring that into Rebirth. And I almost feel like it's about to undo all the great stuff that the Rebirth has kind of laid out for its readers. And I kind of want to know where you guys stand on this, because this is a really big issue. One, are you okay with the Watchmen coming into regular DC continuity? I don't know how I feel about it, because so far from what I've read, I think they can pull it off. And I truly do believe that I don't give a fuck what they're going to do with the Watchmen going forward with this. I'm always going to have that book, and that story is always going to exist. And for me, the Alan Moore, you know, by itself, Dave Gibbons Watchmen story is not going to change that. So I will always have that. So, you know, if they want to do this, let's see what happens. But two, guys, is continuity so important for you now in this day and age, and the big two, and especially as we see the rise of indie comics that just kind of do 4, 6, 8, 12 issue limited runs and then just let the story lie? Is continuity so important for you that this is really a necessary story? Because I'm excited to read it, but I'm not necessarily sure if anyone's actually asking for it. So yeah, that was Batman 21. Guys, comments down below. Please let me know what you thought. Also, don't be afraid to like that video. If you like that video, it'll like you back, and then you guys might be able to go out and get like a cream soda or something one day. It'll be really cute. I have faith in you guys. I think it'll work out. So yeah, there's that. Comments down below. So that. Oh, by the way, this is the new thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to highlight a comic every Wednesday or Thursday when I get my when I read all the way through my poll. Other things that I want you guys to know about: find me on Twitter at KirkLikesStuff. Also, we do an interactive comic book club show on Twitch live 8 p.m. on Mondays with my friends Ian and Savanna, and it's pretty badass. It's also an interactive comic book club. We have a live chat going, and we sometimes bring you guys onto the show to talk about your favorite books. First half of the show is talking about all the comics from that week that just dropped, and then the second half of the show is a book that we picked, and then we all read it together, and then we talk about it in depth, and it's pretty fucking badass. It's something we've been doing over for a year now. So the live shows are over there on Twitch. I'll put that link down below. But please, all the videos get archived here on the YouTube channel, so you can go back and check them out. Or if you didn't make the live show, fucking do that, dude. Check that out, because comment sections are alive and well, and pretty much a garbage fire when you're having a bad night and you just want to like dump on somebody. Comment sections, guys. Yeah, so we got the live show on Twitch. You should go check out the Twitch channel. It is comic. I always forget. My friend named it, and I can never remember it. It is Comic Black Book on Twitch. Go check that out. We're really excited to do that. Also, there's gonna be a website in about 3 weeks, so keep an eye out for that. Don't go to the website now. There's nothing there. Don't do that. But Comic Black Book, it's coming your way. Check out the Twitters. Go check out the links down below. God, do I have any? My announcements are just as bad as me talking about the comic book. But that's pretty much it. I will see you guys here next week when you guys can tell me when I got it right and got wrong, and how much I screwed up, how much I loved about the next comic book, and why I should like just forget how to read. Anyways, yeah, good to see you, little comic book community. We'll see you next week. Hit those links, guys. Go check out Your Mom's Basement. That's a biggie. Alrighty. See you later. And he's looking for the way to end this. How do we end that? Okay.